Imagine, here's a fun scenario. Imagine Michael Cera sues you. Would that be like an amazing marketing opportunity? Like no press is bad press kind of thing?
Yeah, unless it's trademarked, I think we're fine.
I've Googled it. Results are inconclusive.
I mean, just imagine, like, he's pretty awkward, you guys are pretty awkward, like, just the litigation would be kind of hilarious. It would be like an episode of Arrested Development almost.
Okay, this is going to sound weird, but to film a trial, ironically, is kind of a dream of mine. That would be fun.
Yeah, so I was trying to figure out, like, I was listening to the EP a lot, and I'm not exactly sure how I describe what you guys sound like. Yeah, it doesn't really, like, fit into, like, something obvious to me. Is that right? Or
I'd say it's kind of like a indie alternative bedroom pop. That's my take on it.
I would have to agree with Claire. I think it's like a little bit of dream pop too in there. But I've heard people say that we have a little bit of a folk sound. I mean, I
don't see it, but okay.
Yeah.
So your fifth favorite Michael Cera movie is Crystal Fairy and the Magical Cactus?
That's the one we settled on, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So this is a bit of a deep cut. Why is it on the list?
You know what? It's like he's especially awkward and sweet in this movie. I think I like the classics. I guess Superbad would be a classic, but I think it just showcases Michael Cera himself.
Like a new angle.
It's a different side of Michael Cera.
Yeah, he transitioned, like, he used to be like this awkward nice guy, and later in the career he kind of becomes like an awkward asshole. And like in this movie he kind of fits that. Like, this is like peak asshole Michael Cera. What did you think about his co-star Gabby Hoffman? She's also a former child actor, famously from Uncle Buck.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, little girl, like, they look the same though, if you think about it, right?
Yeah. It's a classic movie.
I always say we should put, like, John Candy on the $50 bill or something. Like, he's probably the greatest Canadian if you think about it. Okay, moving on. So at number 4, you have This Is the End. So Michael plays himself, which is a bit self-indulgent of him. And it's just kind of like a relatively small part, really boundary-pushing scenes. So why is this on the list?
I just love when he's trying to get with Rihanna. That's just such a killer move. That's really? My favorite scene. Yeah, okay. I mean, look at Michael. You think he has a chance? He surely does.
Yeah. And this is, like I was saying from the previous movie, this is like the beginnings of his transition to awkward asshole.
Yeah, he kind of sucks in that movie if you think about it, but I think I love it. You just really don't expect it from him.
It's an awkward mix that you wouldn't expect. Like, I wouldn't have expected to see that.
It's basically shock humor in this one. Like,
it seems like a lot of characters in the movie, though, do push their own boundaries, which is why it's kind of a funny movie. Mm-hmm. It's just like a lot of obscenity that you wouldn't expect.
Yeah.
Anybody.
It just kind of makes you think, though. Do you think Michael Cera's, like, I kind of hope he's like that in real life. I think that'd be a real plot twist.
All right, moving on. So number 3, you have Juno.
With those little shorts. See those little shorts?
Yeah, they're very short.
I think, like, I don't know if it's the final scene of the movie or when the credits are rolling, but they're playing that song. Do you know which song I'm talking about? The Moldy Peaches.
I remember it.
And he rides the bike to her house, and they're sitting there playing the guitar, and everything is fine. And they're just 2 kids again after they've done something good for someone. It's kind of a feel-good movie in the end, but it takes a while to get there.
Do you guys think you'd ever cover the music from this movie?
Yeah, I feel like he would.
I think we should.
I think anyone else but you would be a great cover. It would be super easy to do. It's just a couple chords and, 2 acoustic guitars, which we have. Claire and I could, profess our love for each other. So
how romantic. I can't wait.
I mean, you don't have to render it acoustically necessarily either.
Yeah, we could always mix it up.
All right, moving on. So the second best Michael Cera movie is Superbad.
Yeah.
Superbad's pretty awesome, though. Like, that's just the Michael that you know and love. That's the Michael that's always ingrained in your memory, is just him as Evan, like the most awkward human to walk the face of the earth. Just trying to get laid, just trying to get some jiggle juice, and he's just trying his best.
The whole dynamic between the 2 boys growing up is kind of, I wouldn't say parallel to Claire and I, but like Claire and
We're
I,
just trying to get laid. We're just trying to get booze.
it's just like, it reminds me of like Claire and I being so close and growing up together. I like that movie.
So you guys could kind of relate to it. It kind of reminded you of, like, I guess, just their intense friendship.
I would say so.
The whole band, we're all just kind of a bunch of jokesters. So, but yeah, we just like messing around. So that's kind of like the dynamic is relatable there.
Like, they have more balls, but we're still pretty quirky.
Okay, but the real question is, who's the McLovin in our band?
I don't know.
Well, which one of you is Michael Cera and which one of you is Jonah Hill?
I think we're all just Michael Cera. It's just a whole band of Evan from Superbad, just all together. We're all awkward.
Yeah, we're all pretty awkward.
Okay, so the number one drumroll Michael Cera movie is Scott Pilgrim versus the World, obviously.
Yeah.
Great flick. I've got to say it's just one of my favorite movies of all time. Like, everything about it, just the fact that, like, he's this dorky kid going after, like, this super cool chick, and he has to fight all the exes, but, like, clearly has no chance, but then ends up winning the day every time.
It's a very relatable, heartwarming movie.
I think just the musical aspect, too. Like, the Sex Bob-ombs have some really good tracks. Garbage Truck, honestly.
For sure.
I was going to say, at the headliner that we did on Emma's birthday, our opening band, Hotel Pablo, they gave it a go, and it sounded pretty sick.
So what else is there to say? It's really, really interesting editing and, like, innovative filmmaking in general.
Yeah, I was going to say the same. Like, all the graphics in that movie are really cool. That was, like, our pretty agreed upon top choice. Like, I talked to Ryan and Sam as well.
So now that we've gone through the list, we can just kind of talk about your band. First of all, are you laughing at Michael Cera or with Michael Cera?
Oh, definitely with. We love him. We would never slander him like that. Are you kidding me?
So the next question is, like, has Michael Cera reached out at all?
No.
Not yet.
We get a lot of follower requests on Instagram. Claire could probably expand about, or just from Michael Cera fan accounts, or
Michael
like
Cera cosplay accounts. There's a bunch.
It's so awkward. It's really, really weird stuff.
Yeah.
I just don't know how to describe it.
It was a lot for me to see in the morning. I'll put it that way. Maybe they are really into Michael Cera. Maybe he's a kink. I can't really answer that question too much, but
I don't know what's going on.
That's as weird as it gets, really.
Jeez. So what? Let's see. What roles do you think Michael Cera could have done better than other people? I was thinking about it, and maybe like some of the Marvel roles would have been a lot better if it was Michael Cera, like Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what? Now that you bring it up, my sister was actually watching Spider-Man today, and he is a pretty awkward character. So I mean, Tom Holland does a good job, but Michael Cera, you don't know what he's capable of. He may have done a better job given the role.
Okay, so I wanted to talk about the music video for Alone Again. It was really well done. Like, it kind of felt like a Michael Cera movie.
Basically, the friends that filmed this movie, they're all film students at Sheridan, and we just kind of came in for that roller rink scene. Yeah, they really captured some, like, classic Scott Pilgrim and Ramona moments there for sure.
All right, so, like, I want to talk about some of the songs on the EP. So, like, the first song, Identity Fraud, it's kind of, like, drenched in reverb. It's got, like, that groove change near the end. I thought it was maybe the most unique song on the EP. How did the idea come about? How'd you write it?
So basically, well, the title for that one was inspired by this nightmare of a time that I had at not Nathan Phillips Square. What am I trying to say? Yeah, that's the one in Toronto, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, yeah, I got it right. But yeah, I had a bit of a nightmare of a time at Nathan Phillips Square a couple winters ago. We were just ice skating, and my backpack got stolen, and whoever took my stuff, like, spent a bunch of money on my cards, and they had my IDs and stuff, and that was a big fear. I'm like, my identity is gone, And then a couple weeks later, I ended up getting like this fake job email that looked pretty believable. And I didn't give them a lot of information, but then that was like the second strike. I'm like, here it goes again. My identity is stolen a second time in the year. But yeah, well, even the album cover is part of it in the background where there's the backpack and all the cards and plastic bags on the ground. That was actually a photo taken by the person who found my bag. So identity fraud's just kind of about how much of a mess last winter was.
That's a cool thing to write a song about, though. It's kind of like not the normal thing people write songs about. So that's pretty. What about the music side of it? Like that groove change at the end that kind of comes unexpectedly.
Oh, that's all Sam. Sam's like our musical genius in the band. He actually had wrote the track before we ended up coming up with the lyrics. So yeah.
Claire, we had like stickers taped to the bass.
Oh my God. There's like Sam's bass is just riddled with different colored sticky tabs on like all the different frets to the point where like I don't know which ones are for which songs, but
what are they for? So what do they say on them? Are they just like this fret is
that's basically it, yeah. Like I'll put them on the frets that correspond to each song, but there's like 3 songs on there worth of stickies, so it's all just a big mess.
Yeah, that's pretty quirky and odd, just having a bunch of Post-it notes on your bass. Like, congratulations at being like, I felt like a new level of nerdiness.
It's like a new level of amateur, but thanks.
Well done. So one thing I wanted to talk about is, so you guys are a bit younger than me. I've noticed like when I was kind of just getting into music, it was a lot more like the scenes were separate. So like I played in punk bands. If you were into punk bands, that's like kind of like all you would listen to. And if you're like into hip hop, that's kind of like all you'd listen to. But nowadays, that's like not the case at all. Everything's kind of like across the board and everyone listens to everything.
I think it's so much easier to get into a bunch of different genres nowadays. Like with Spotify, it's so easy just to find what you like, and with people recommending you things. I mean, like growing up, I was into, classic rock in elementary school and the Beatles. And I guess that, like, I don't know, everyone takes you everywhere, and it's so easy to do that. Like, my sister, she's turning 16, and she's into indie and stuff like that, but she loves hip-hop.
I think you see it a lot at, like, shows and stuff, too. Like, you're looking out at the crowd, and I think it's easy to say that there's certain bands where their whole fan base is sort of, like, very niche, like, fit to their band. But now, like, I went to the Tyler, the Creator show in September, and some of the people there, like myself included, I'm like, you're seeing all kinds of people. Like, it's not so much anymore just that classic fan base. It's sort of just a catch-all at this point.
So I think that's all the questions I had. Thank you both for talking to me.
Thank you as well.